Shalom Aleichem, everyone. We're continuing Hachsek's learning of the Pele Yoetz, day number 79. And we're in the chapter over here of how a son-in-law and a daughter-in-law must be mechabed, must honor their in-laws properly. And we're talking over here about the special obligation that a daughter-in-law has to make sure she does not start fighting and contention with her in-laws, because it's only going to lead to disaster. And he writes more today the following. This mitzvah of a daughter-in-law being mechabed her in-laws, muteles al abal, is incumbent upon the husband. To guide and direct his wife, and to command her, she must honor her in-laws very, very much. And if a husband sees that his wife is being very slighting the covet of his parents, even if she seems to be justified for the way that she's thinking, nevertheless, a son has an obligation to his parents to put his wife, now just let's read the words first and then we'll talk about it. To put his wife in her place, and to even be forceful in front of his parents to tell her that she is wrong and she's not honoring them in the right way, and do it in a very strong manner. However, when it comes to the husband and wife being in private, then he should appease her with very nice words to make sure that there's shalom bayis. Now, I just need to say that I'm not sure that in our generation today, with the fragility of a person and the sensitivities that people have, if a wife ends up treating her in-laws in the wrong way, and the husband decides to musser out his wife and rebuke her in front of them and make it look like she is wrong and they are correct, I don't think, no matter how much you're going to try to be mephias or to appease her afterwards and settle her nerves, that you're going to increase your shalom bayis. In such a case, it's going to be a disaster, and your wife is going to come to resent you very strong for the things that you have said about her in front of your parents and did to her in front of your parents. So you have to be extremely careful over here. If there is contention between a wife, a daughter-in-law, and her in-laws, the husband is caught in a very tricky situation. He's caught in the middle between the two peoples that mean the most to him, his parents and his wife. And he's going to have to dance around this disaster as easy as possible in order not to hurt anybody's feelings, to the best of his abilities. Go and seek counsel and learn how to do this in the right way, because it's not an easy situation. Now says the Pele Yoetz, nevertheless, it is well known that with the elders, that is where the wisdom lies, and therefore the parents who feel that they are not being treated properly, and the honor is displaced, and they're maybe being shamed and embarrassed by their daughter-in-law, it's upon them to behave properly. And if it turns out that their son's wife is a very bad woman with a wicked spirit, it's upon the elderly parents over here, the in-laws, to bear the burden, and they should speak only pleasingly to her, and they should never put their own yoke upon her. And if this daughter-in-law, in her insidious ways, does something that is improper and inappropriate to them, disgraces them, embarrasses them, puts them down, starts a fight with them, all the wonderful things that daughter-in-laws like to do to their in-laws when they get upset with them, they can only rebuke her gently between the three of them, the parents to the daughter-in-law. They have to do it in private. They should never ever tell anybody what a disrespectful person this daughter-in-law is. Rather, they should tell everybody else, "Oh, our daughter-in-law, she's such a tzadikis. She's amazing. She's wonderful. We love her. We were dreaming about our son having a wife like this. We couldn't be happier." All the more so, all the more so, they should never reveal what happened or the fights that took place ever. And all the more so, just like they would never go and tell anybody else, my daughter-in-law did. What's the matter with her? How could she do such a thing? You don't talk like that to anybody else. What she does to you, that's between you and her. And of course, says the Pele Yoetz, never get in the way of the marriage of your daughter, of your son and your daughter-in-law. Never reveal the navlusa, never reveal her bad ways or her obstruction of the covet of the honor and the navlusa and her lowliness. Never ever reveal that to her husband. Sheba yikanes tina belibo, because maybe some very bad feelings are going to enter the heart of the husband when he hears these things. V'yava lisnaisa, he'll come chalila to hate his wife. The in-laws, which means the parents of this son, who are upset with their daughter on the way that they are being treated, says the Pele Yoetz, act your age. Don't become a little child on the playground and decide, our daughter-in-law is not being nice to us, so we're going to go and tell on her, and we're going to make things bad for her. Don't be like that. You have to be bigger than that. You're an older person. You've been through a lot of things in life. You're supposed to try to live a life of peace at this point. If they're putting you through that, she's putting you through that, that's min hashamayim. Don't get upset and angry and decide you're going to go squeal on her to your son. You know what you're going to do? You're going to ruin their marriage. You want to be responsible for the divorce? You want to be responsible for the get? You want to be responsible for the ruined lives of the children? Is that what you want to be responsible for? Says the Pele Yoetz, be bigger than that. Woe to the father and the mother, these in-laws, the parents that cause such a thing. The holy name of Hashem. We know the famous story of the Saita. You're allowed to erase HaKadosh Baruch Hu's name into the water and let her drink it to absolve herself. You can't erase Hashem's name, but there you are allowed to, in order to be able to restore the peace between a husband and a wife. And now you have two parents over here that got upset, their feelings got hurt, so they go against the Torah, and they end up bad-mouthing their daughter-in-law to their son, and now the son says, my wife did such a thing, and he gets in a fight with his wife, and their marriage falls apart. Chas v'chalila. V'yoyse toiv sheyizbelu av v'eim elef rois. It's better that a father and a mother, the in-laws, they should bear the burden of 1,000 bad things that happen to them. Never cause a machlekes, fighting and argument between a husband and a wife, chas v'chalila, to destroy a marriage, to ruin a marriage. Parents are going to do such a thing. Who would think of doing that? HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I'm allowing you to erase my name to restore shalom. You're going to go now with your bad words and you're going to destroy the marriage. Chas v'chalila. Therefore, tzrichim das gadol aveim, the father and the mother, they need a lot of das. They have to use their mind properly. Linoi b'anhaga toivim abanim, to be able to conduct themselves properly with their children, ve'akalois, and with their daughter-in-laws, kadeshi zivuga noile yofeh b'shalom misha, so that the zivug, the marriage of their son and their daughter-in-laws, will end up being a beautiful marriage, a beautiful union of a husband and a wife that will be in peace and tranquility. Ve'afilim yesh b'neim eze kirkor v'yorei devarim, even if there are grievances or complaints that the parents have against the daughter-in-law, Yishmul ma'oid, you guard those. Shelo yivadu divrei machutz alayin. Don't let anybody know how you feel about your daughter-in-law that you feel is not treating you in the right way. Kiza iveles, because that's foolishness if you did that. Uklima, embarrassment, l'shnei atzadin. You're causing embarrassment to both sides. V'gormen lashon hara v'shem ra l'nafshem, and then you're gonna cause lashon hara to be spoken, and a bad name. Oh, the Smiths over there. You know what's going on between the in-laws and the daughter-in-law. Oh, you gewalt. Did you hear such a thing? You saw the fighting. You hear the screaming. You see the way they don't talk to each other when they go to dinner. You saw all of that. So what are you accomplishing? Be an adult. You're 75 years old. You're 55 years old. Be an adult. You go beyond, stretch yourself beyond your midas. Stop acting like a little child on the playground. Act like a mensch. Act like a person with midas that you worked on yourself. Now, Pele Yoetz can help you if you're immature and you're a baby and you allow people to get under your skin and you take everything personally and you never worked on your midas and you're a balas gaiva or a bal gaiva and you only want your cover and you only want your honor. I deserve. Nothing you can do, says the Pele Yoetz. But start growing before you become a mother-in-law, before you become a father-in-law. And if you're already in the artist, you better start learning Musar. You better start working on yourself. You better grow and stretch yourself beyond the little small world that you're in right now in order that you don't make a mistake. Because Khalila, so many families, they're battling with each other in these areas. Marriages are being ruined. Relations between sons and their parents are being ruined. Everybody just grow up. That's what the Pele Yoetz is saying. If you do that, there'll be peace and harmony in the marriage, in the family, in Klal Yisrael. And I say like this, says the Pele Yoetz. Give you one last piece of advice. And that is, if you cannot control yourself, you're just too hot-headed, you're too sensitive, you get hurt too easily, it bothers you, my daughter-in-law, then, you cannot live peacefully amongst each other, then don't live together. Go move to the moon if you need to. This good separation that the children are going to make from the parents, the daughter-in-law from the in-laws, that will be the best thing in order to be able to survive and live, and they won't create the friction and the fighting and the lashon hara and all the bad things. So know thyself, says the Pele Yoetz, what you can handle. It would be better if you could handle a lot more, and you could be an adult, and you could be a mensch, and you could be someone working about midas, humble and the like, and you could handle such things if that would end up happening. However, says the Pele Yoetz, if you can't, then run for your life. Because if you don't get away from each other, you will end up destroying each other. You'll destroy the marriages. You'll destroy the relationship between the son and the parents, and so on and so forth. You'll break up a husband and a wife. Chas v'chalila. Nobody wants to be responsible for such things. So know yourself the best that you can. Rise to the challenge. Now it's the month of Elul. Baruch Hashem, we have so many opportunities to work on ourselves and to grow and to be misakin our midas and the like. Perhaps this will be a great thing for a person to work on during the month of Elul. Honor your in-laws the best that you can. Make amends for the things that we foolishly did this past year when we could have been better in the way that we treated them and spoke to them and honored them or dishonored them. And in that zechus and Yetz Hashem, we should be zeiche to aksiva echasima teva. All the best.